What are you doing?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what's going on.
Don't forget there are gift cards available at RitaYanez.com.
Hi there, Virgo. This is your monthly reading for the month of December 2015. Happy holidays. I hope you're getting ready for your winter break here, at least in the United States. Kids are off a lot from school at about this time of year. They get some time off around Thanksgiving, and then they're off again for the holidays here. So with that said, the card that you're starting off the reading with is the Devil in Reverse. I want to let you guys know that there is a need for you to be careful. Take precautions, because there's the element that there are risk factors that you could even be involved in inadvertently. And let's say it could be a scenario that you're supposed to go out with your friends to the movies. You get in the vehicle and people are drinking. Time to get the hell out. It's hard to do when you're squished in the middle, but even if you have to pull out your cell phone, and you should have 911 on speed dial, they will locate you wherever you are. Also, this is a card that indicates if you have any issues with people that are involved in substance abuse. So people that are drinking, people that are smoking pot, or look, under 18, you're not even supposed to be smoking cigarettes. We would like people to be fully informed if they're going to damage their lungs and cause themselves long-term illness. So of course we don't want to see that happening. And remember, I was a kid too, and I know what it's like to be in your shoes, but there are too many risk factors here associated with people doing things that somehow unwittingly become dangerous just almost by accident with you guys, with your age group. So let's say you're supposed to go to a friend's holiday party and the parents are supposed to be there, and it's supposed to be really cool, and there's going to be food and fun and games, and there's going to be video games and gift exchanges, and you get there are no parents. The house looks like they're not even supposed to be there because there's no electricity. You show up and the food is some chips and salsa. This is the kind of idea that gives you that moment of pause and reflection to know that there's something wrong and it's time to go. Even if you have to lie about it, a lie to save your ass is worth it. So if you have a situation where you feel like you need to say, you know what, oh my God, I have diarrhea. I just crapped my pants. I gotta go. Leave. They're not even going to follow you. Get out of there. Now, that doesn't mean that it isn't for sure something that's going to happen. It just means that there is a risk for this to happen. Let's just say you're at a party, your parents let you go to this party after the winter dance, and you and your boyfriend have an agreement, or so you thought, that no one would be intimate, and then things are going a little too far, or he's had a beer or 2 or 7, and then all of a sudden you are like meat on a hook, and you don't know how to get out of this situation, and you don't want to hurt his feelings, and you don't want to lose him. You got to think about yourself. This is the kind of energy that indicates if you don't stand up for yourself, no one will. You're not supposed to let yourself get bullied into doing something just because somebody says they love you today for 5 minutes, and in the grand scheme of things, you won't even remember how you ended up in that position. No pun intended, to begin with. So the best thing to acknowledge is that when you're in a situation and you don't feel comfortable, to take care of number one. Think of yourself first. What's the funniest thing that happens with kids? And remember, because I used to be one, and I still remember, in a way, my kids will tell you that I'm still like a great big kid. I don't really mind that either because it keeps me from aging. So consider it like this. If you're in a situation that puts you at risk, and let's just say that you're at a party, everything's okay, then you hear boo, whoop, the cops pull up and people are trying to hide bongs under their shirts and they're trying to shove the pot in their butt, they're trying to get rid of it. And then all of a sudden the cops are there. And what happens is they don't just arrest certain people, they're going to take all y'all in. Then what they do is they separately interview you. And then they actually are doing this at the same time so that they are able to get everybody's story and figure out who really is innocent. The problem is you're guilty by association because if you knew that this started up, that would have been the moment to get out of there. And then it's really hard for the cops to figure out if you were being held there against your will. And what happens? It ends up on your record. It makes it hard to find a job. It will show up every time you do a background test. Then you got to do the PP test to make sure that you're not drinking, smoking, whatever. And then you know what they'll do in the end when you're saying, well, look, it was my boyfriend. He said that he wasn't going to take me home until he was done partying. And then the cops are going to say you couldn't walk out of the house and ask somebody for help. And then guess what? He's going to point the finger at you and say, oh, no, man, she told me to take her to this party because she wanted to get stoned. And you're like, what the hell? That's what people do. They start finger pointing. And it isn't just kids. Adults do this. It is so hilarious. Look up crime story investigations or America's Dumbest Criminals, that kind of thing, and you're going to see adults doing it. And I know it sounds like a redneck whack job party, but that's what happens in a lot of different situations. We've seen that with people that are super wealthy, maybe not the most intelligent, but just people that can't keep their heads out of their asses. So keep in mind that your freedom, your livelihood, your devices, your privileges, your ability to drive, your parents' ability to trust you, all of it rests here. And this month, for some reason, with you guys, it is astrological, and we could get into it, but I'm supposed to be going through this really fast. Like when they read through the APR and all of the different details about a purchase that you're going to make because they want you to buy a case of ShamWow. I know I'm just kind of yanking you here, but remember what I'm telling you. Week 2, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and this is a kind of situation where we feel like somebody could be somewhat suspicious, or they're acting suspiciously, and you're trying to watch to see what's going on, but you don't necessarily figure out until the end of the week who's not telling the truth. Is there a chance that some Virgo types are going to do this? Yeah. Because we can't just say sitting here looking at freaking some paper cards that I know everything that everyone's going to do. Although I know what you had for lunch today. And I know what you did last summer. I'm kidding. But you see what I'm saying? You're going to find it out at the last minute. So just kind of don't take things at face value this first week of December, or excuse me, the second week really technically of December, because the first card represents the first week. But you know what I'm saying. So just remember, observe. Observe and see what these people are doing. Week 3, we've got the Two of Swords. This is a card that indicates that you're almost like either between the proverbial rock and the hard place, or you don't really want to stand there and look at the truth and have to make a decision. Do I keep my friends who do things that I don't do, and they want to go shoplifting at Walgreens, and I don't want to do this, but they want me to go with them, which means when I get busted, they're going to point the fingers at me. I'm going to end up in the clink, in juvie. My parents are going to be mortified. It will be all over the place, and no. Or do I just stick with my boyfriend who's telling me that it's okay to just smoke a joint? Because remember, somebody thinks that Bill Clinton didn't inhale, and what the hell? Like if somebody really loves you and cares about you, they're not going to put you at risk. They're not going to put you in danger. They're not going to tell you to smoke. They're not going to encourage you to drink. They're going to be like, dude, like most of us are trying to make an attempt to get into college the first time. We're looking for acceptance letters. We're looking to go make some corrections in what we call junior college so that we can get our grade point average up, because like we want to get up and move to Connecticut or Michigan and go to Michigan State and maybe, have a chance at a life here. So trust me on this. If you can't make a decision, it might be because the options available to you, none of them are any good. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I do want you aware that there's some people that have some effed up energy this month, and they could be right around performing at a theater near you or in the Clink Juvie Hall near you. We've got week 4, the Magician, which indicates you're the one who's got to stand up for yourself and say, you know what, I love you, but if you don't love me the same and you're forcing me to comply to have sex with you, or else you're going to have to find it from somebody else, well, I can tell you where the next nearest goat is, and then I'll call the police because you're abusing animals. Or, if somebody says, look, if you really care about me, you'll try this. These are mushrooms. This is really great and psychedelic and so amazing. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to have a trip where I end up somebody's ass. I really don't want this. That's where you stand up for yourself and say, if you really love and care about me, you will not pressure me to do things that are wrong, immoral, illegal, that upset me. It isn't what I want to do. I'm not even old enough to make a choice. I'm still trying to figure out how to get enough money to buy a PlayStation or get the jeans that I want. And I want that handbag and some new shoes. You're going to jack me all up. So week 5, we've got the Knight of Cups. And this is somebody who's bringing you a different kind of love. I think for those of you that are in relationships that suck, or that you realize that this is not good for you because this one's trying to get you to eat mushrooms, that one wants you to go spank a leprechaun, and before you know it, you're all in trouble. There's somebody who comes in here much more sensitively, and if you've got somebody that you love and care for right now, and you're the one putting them through these things, which I'm not saying it's you guys, because you guys are pretty much typically straight-laced, unless you come from some really weird environment or something. You guys are not usually the people going crazy, doing things you're not supposed to do. That's usually over there being Gemini, and Sagittarius will do it right in front of your face. Scorpio will do it, but we hide it from everybody, and then when we get pissed off, we vomit it all over social media. I'm just kidding. Those are just stereotypical jokes that I'm making. But remember, look, you don't want to spank a leprechaun. You don't want to eat something that grew out of the fungus, and you don't know which cow took a piss on it or how this happened. If somebody loves you, they're going to treat you with respect and let you make your own choices. If you're not getting that kind of love from your friends or from your boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is, look, there's somebody else that's down the line, not too far, just weeks away, who seems to admire that part of you, that spunk in you, that ability to stand up for yourself and demonstrate that you're not a freaking pushover. What you will do is take that leprechaun and cram it up somebody's behind. So remember that. The next time somebody offers you to do something really crazy, say, you want a leprechaun up your ass? I'll give it to you. I know that's a little raw. I'm trying to give it to you straight because that's the kind of thing that could happen this month. So with that said, I love you. I respect you. I admire you. Remember to do the right thing, do right by yourself and right by others. And if you see something going on that could get a person hurt or worse, pick up the phone, dial 911 and say, look, I need some help and I don't want my name revealed, but I think some people are in danger like right now. And they will keep you anonymous. They will protect you. Trust me. Cops don't want to go out there and hurt people. They're really trying to get them to understand that really they're doing this terrible job for very little pay to make sure that people like us are safe and that we don't end up on the backside of a vehicle wrapped around a telephone pole twice. Love you guys. Make good choices.